In this video, we got another episode of this series where I rate and improve your guys' teams. In this series, you guys will send me your teams on Twitter at evantanaka1010. I'll give you guys my rating 1 through 10, could be a 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10, and then give you guys my best suggestions to help improve your guys' teams. If you guys want to comment your team and empty amount down below in the comment section down below, then I'll go over your teams and give you guys a rating on the YouTube video as well. But yeah, guys, talking about Lethal's team, he's going to be the first one of the video. We all know Lethal, what a GOAT YouTuber. But yeah, Lethal says he plays on the PS3 and he has 115,000 MT and he's just a sniper. So he's got, I mean, that's not a terrible team. I know Lethal probably isn't really grinding the game too much. It's not a bad budget squad. It's really not. Like Ivy, Jordan's really cool, Robert Horry solid, Banchero, and Drummond. I would say probably move Banchero to your 5 and then have Mark Williams evo him to a diamond and then have Banchero as your starting 5 as well. And you could sell Drummond, try to get some MT back. And then for your starting power forward, I would probably move Robert Horry to the 3. I mean, a guy like AK could definitely be a really good pickup. He's probably the best lockdown in the game. If you don't want to go with a guy like AK, just get a kind of cheaper AK, which is going to be Jeremy Shohan. So your starting lineup could be Jaden Ivey, Jordan, let's say Jeremy Shohan, Robert Horry, and Banchero. And then your bench, I would probably recommend getting Danny Green over a guy like Chris Mullen, or going after Benedict Mathurin or Ochai Agbaji, and having, let's say, Curry, Danny Green, Batum, Giannis, and Mark Williams. And in my opinion, that's actually a very good squad, especially for someone who I assume hasn't really been grinding the game too much. Next team here comes in from Blasian. He says however much MT Blake Griffin sells for is how much MT he'll have. Jennings has Hall of Fame clutch and challenger added. MJ has Hall of Fame space creator and volume shooter added as well. So Blake Griffin, we'll say sells for around 200,000. I mean, he probably sells for like 225, 250, but we'll say after tax you have 200,000 MT. Looking at his squad, I know he's a Bucks fan, so he's definitely going to keep Brandon Jennings in the lineup. He's got Jordan, Dieng, Jabari Smith, and Joakim Noah. Off the bench, a very solid bench as well. For me, I think honestly, Elgin kind of has to stay. I like your small forwards, I like your shooting guards, and I like your point guards. I like Giannis. I'm really not the biggest fan of Jabari Smith. I think a guy like Robert Horry is a lot better. So I would tell Jabari Smith he goes for a decent amount of MT and then pick up Robert Horry at your starting power forward spot. I think Banchero, he's got to be in the lineup as well, whether you want to have him as your starting center or backup center. I think he can either replace Tyson Chandler or Joakim Noah. If you want to replace Tyson Chandler, I would start Banchero and then have Joakim Noah off the bench. So yeah, those are my suggestions, but overall a very good team. Also, rating out of 10, I forgot to do. I mean, Lethal's team probably a solid 7 out of 10 before the upgrades, and then Blasian's team probably a solid maybe 8 out of 10 before the upgrades. Looking at the next team here coming in from Seba, he's got Westbrook, Iguodala, Elgin Baylor, Kevin Love, and Drummond. Decent starting lineup, and he's got a solid bench as well. I'd give this team probably a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10. Robert Horry is super nice, but I think we can add Batum to the squad, so I would get rid of Kevin Love, put Robert Horry to your starting power forward spot, and then have Nicholas Batum as your backup small forward. And then I would get Banchero over, I would get either Banchero or Blake Griffin over a guy like Drummond. Your starting lineup would then be Russ, Iguodala, Elgin Baylor, Robert Horry, and let's say Banchero. And then your bench could be like Curry, Danny Green, Batum, Giannis, and then I would try to get a better center, but I know he likes Anthony Davis a lot, so you can definitely keep AD in the lineup as well. He's definitely a solid center. Looking at the next team here coming in from Virgil, he's got 860,000 MT. He's saving it either for a Juice Jordan or a new Giannis, Paul George, or KD. He still needs to figure out what he's trying to do to get Sabonis. He's 2 trophy cards away, so he's going to get Sabonis soon, but I don't think I'm really going to upgrade that backup center spot because I know he's going after Sabonis, and you're not really going to want to pick up a backup for right now. I mean, you could maybe get a guy like Zion, but I would probably just save for guys like Paul George, Giannis, and Kevin Durant. Other than that though, I'm not the biggest fan of Oladipo. I think a guy like Danny Green is actually better, or a guy like Jason Richardson, or even a guy like Benedict Mathurin. I think are all better than Victor Oladipo, but if you like him a lot, you can definitely keep him. That's pretty much going to be my only change, only upgrade. Other than that, your team's like probably a 9 out of 10, a very, very good squad. I would just recommend getting rid of Victor Oladipo, downgrading to a guy like Danny Green, who I think is actually a better card, and you're going to save yourself like 70,000 MT. But overall, like I said, a very good looking squad. Next team here comes in from Cybermation or Cybermation. I think it's how you pronounce it. He's got 100,000 MT and he's one centerpiece or centerpiece away from Sabonis. So let's just say he has Sabonis at his starting center, and then you'll have Mark Williams coming off the bench. Rating out of 10, I mean, this is a very, very starter team, very budget team. I'm gonna have to go 6 out of 10, but it's probably because you just started playing the game. You do have 100,000 MT though, so I'm just gonna list some names you definitely want to get. So first off, Jeremy Shohan, Robert Horry, Nicholas Batum, Jerry West, all need to be added into the lineup. You can have Jerry West as your starting point guard, and maybe even a guy like Marcus Smart as your 2 point guards. Yeah, that's what I recommend doing, is probably getting either Jaden Ivey or Smart. Probably Ivy, actually. So let's go Ivy and Jerry West as your 2 point guards. As your shooting guards, I'd recommend getting probably OJ Abaji and Danny Green. As your small forwards, I would go Grant Hill, and if you can sell the Grant Hill, I would probably recommend selling him. But yeah, so sell Grant Hill if you can, and then I would go Jeremy Shohan and Nicholas Batum. As your power forwards, I'd move Giannis to the backup and then have Robert Horry as your starting 4. And then, like I said, your centers would be Sabonis and Mark Williams. I think after you make those changes, your team is a very, very good team. Very solid, probably like 7.5 out of 10. Next squad here comes in from Zach. We got Mr. Ty Debo on the screen. I'm assuming he rated and improved his team as well, or did something with the squad. But yeah, so he's got Pink Diamond Curry, Vince, AK Blake, and Kevin Love. So a pretty decent starting lineup. Kevin Love definitely got to go at the center position. Off the bench, a very solid bench as well. So rating out of 10, probably a solid 8 to 8.5. I'd recommend get rid of Kevin Love, move Blake Griffin to your starting center, and then probably getting Ben Sherrill for your backup center. Those are the 2 guys I would recommend. Have Ben Sherrill and Blake as your 2 centers. For your power forwards, I mean, if you want to spend a decent amount, a guy like Zion is always amazing. Or if you want to go more budget, get a guy like Robert Horry and Giannis to run your 2 power forward spot. For your small forward, I like AK. I'd probably recommend upgrading Grant Hill to a guy like Nicholas Batum or a guy like Jeremy Shohan, especially if you can sell that Grant Hill and get a decent amount of MT as well. Shooting guards are very good, and point guards I think are solid. I mean, I like a guy like Baron Davis a little bit more, but if you want a defender and Marcus Smart, you definitely can do so. For me, 2 centers, get rid of Kevin Love, get rid of Ben Wallace, sell Ben Wallace and get a decent amount of MT back, run Blake Griffin at your center, and run Ben Sherrill at your backup center. And then for your 2 power forwards, go Robert Horry and Giannis out of the token market. You definitely have enough tokens to get Giannis 1000% better than Kevin Durant, in my opinion. Sell Grant Hill, get a guy like Nicholas Batum, and then that's pretty much it. A very solid team, though. Don't really need to make too many changes other than a guy like Kevin Love. Looking at the last team here, coming in from 9cc. He has 500,000 MT and didn't buy Bosch yet, and he plays both gens. So is he saying like he has 500,000 MT and then he's gonna buy Bosch and he won't have that much left, or he has 500,000 MT after he bought Chris Bosch? I don't know, for example, but I mean, this is a very good team. I mean, starting lineup, the only thing I'd probably do is get rid of Jabari Smith and probably put Banchero to your starting power forward, and then for your backup center, try to get a guy like Blake Griffin. Other than that, though, I think the team's perfectly fine. This is probably a 9 out of 10 squad. I would get rid of Jabari Smith unless you're like a massive fan of him. I would start Ben Sherrill with the starting 4 and then get a guy like Blake for that backup 5. But yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for the video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy. Like I said, make sure comment your team and MT amount down below in the comment section, and I'll give you guys my best suggestion and rating. But hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.